York just feels quicker. Everyone's just flirting with everyone.
You do it with confidence.
What do you mean?
Straight up milk. It's kind of a power move.
They have taste.
For sure. Either go outside the box or know exactly what you want. This is me.
Well, but we were also kind of in a... Welcome back to another episode of First Rounds of Me, a First Rounds of Media production. If you've ever found yourself deep in cocktail talk at 2 a.m, mesmerized by perfectly shaken espresso martinis or dangerously smooth Negronis, chances are you've already stumbled upon Nic Hamilton's world. Today, we're serving up questions, cocktails, and a little bit of chaos with the internet's favorite bartender, cocktail connoisseur, and author of Sipsy Doozy. Today, we're shaking things up, pun very much intended. We're diving into first date drink orders that scream red flag, to bartender-approved green flags that instantly make somebody more attractive. We'll also be breaking down cocktails as dating personalities, testing out the three-drink theory, and of course, no First Rounds on Me episode would be complete without some games, and boy, do we have some doozies for you.
Come on.
Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Come on.
Welcome, darling.
Big fan. Big fan of all of that.
I had to throw as many puns in there as I possibly
I liked
could.
it, dude. Really liked it.
So much so that I stumbled over my words, but I was just very excited to do so. You teed it up for me so perfectly, and to the listeners out there, I'm sure that you can hear Nick's accent. He's a fellow Australian. So we always like to start the podcast off with, are you single? Are you dating? Are you somewhere in between?
Yeah, I'm single. I haven't dated since my last relationship, which was like a year ago.
Really?
I've been on one date since. I don't know.
Purposely?
Yeah, I'm not really a dater. Like unless I'm fairly monogamous. So if I'm like chasing something, I'll date. But like I'm not like I'll do one or two and then bye-bye. It needs to be a big thing.
How do you know that you're ready to go on a first date with somebody though? Like,
well, I used to be on the apps before I met my last ex when we broke up a year ago. I met every single relationship on the apps, and then since then I've wanted to like meet friends of friends, and like being in New York too, you want to be kind of more personable. I don't know. Maybe I should try First Rounds on Me. Maybe I should try that.
I think you definitely should. Okay, so even though you haven't been on a first date in a year, you have experienced first dates many times in your life, I'm sure. So what do you think, what's your preference? A dimly lit speakeasy or a dive bar with a jukebox?
I prefer a speakeasy, but then one, it's more expensive, so you have to know that you like the person. But I don't know. I think I feel like I need something in between. I don't like the idea that you can't eat on a first date. I think it's silly to think that you look ugly or you're gonna gross the other person out by eating, because it's like if they're this is the monogamy thing again. If they're good enough, they're gonna watch you eat a bunch of times after the fact anyway. So I'd like a pub with like a good meal and a beer, and then like move on to like a speakeasy or maybe like a club after.
Oh, a club.
Maybe.
Oh, a club man?
I'm not really a club man. I don't know why I said that. I could do like a cocktail club.
Like
a jazz club.
something where there's music, but it's not like duv like to the point where you can't talk to
That's a
each
good
other.
question.
I like a jazz club kind of vibe.
Jazz club, yeah.
What's one drink that you think immediately screams to you if somebody orders this on a first date where you're like, they have taste?
It's usually if it's anything that isn't in the realm of classics, or if they order like it just comes in the confidence of the order more so than what they order. I think it's if they know what they want and they know that they're going to like it, or they look at a menu full of stuff that they've never heard of before and they go, I want to try that. Like it's the confidence to either go outside the box or know exactly what you want.
I love that. Okay, wait. This question just came up. Do you think it's like if they have like a super duper difficult order, right? They're like, I want, and it's like 40 lines long. Do you think that's indicative of them being like a little bit of a difficult human being?
It depends. I think for food, yes. Drinks, like when I order a martini, it's a 20-word order, because you know what you want, and it does to me strike me as you know what you want, you know exactly what you like to drink. But it is equally as interesting if you pick something that even maybe I haven't heard of before on the menu, because that's when I'm out at like a nice bar with a nice menu. So rarely will I order something I've had before. I try to find something that I can't even make at home, that like, because I'm spending $20 on a cocktail. Yeah. Like I've got such an extensive bar at home that it'd be silly to order like a Negroni for $20 when I can make that for free at home.
Damn straight.
Do you let the other person know that that's your world?
I've been on a date in so long. The last first date I was on was 3 years ago. And that was right after I started the drink stuff. So I haven't really, at like friends dinners and stuff, like or meeting new people. It always comes up. Like if I'm out with friends and they're introducing me to new people, it's always like, Nick is Nick's a drink guy. So if
Now
you
he's
need
way
help,
around a drink.
if you need help with the menu, just ask him. And then I've got 5 menus in front of me. What should I get?
Well, okay, speaking of drinks, typically we are the ones that are bringing the first round onto the podcast, but I think it's a first round's on me first.
First round's on me.
First round's on Nick
It's
today.
first round's
Nick
on me.
made 2 incredibly
Thank you,
amazing
Nick.
cocktails. Can you please explain them?
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
so
try
the
one.
one, yes, of course. Should we cheers? Yeah. This is what we've got is a lonely Valentine. Cheers to you.
Eye
Cheers to the
contact.
first day of spring.
Oh, first day of spring. Eye
First day of
contact,
spring.
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
So this is a lonely Valentine. It's it looks like kind of cute and fluffy and pink, but it's a little bitter with the Campari. It's tequila. It's a little bit more complex and
There's tequila in here.
uh,
Oh, this is delicious.
different.
We have to change the style of the show. I like when
That is
people
nice.
make beautiful drinks like this.
I haven't had
for
that
us.
one in a very
Pat
long
yourself
time.
on the back, babe.
Whoa.
You did a good job.
Nice and sour too. Well, it's a mocktail. It's kind of like a black tea mule instead of it's like a Kentucky mule, but instead of bourbon, I've
I
used
love that.
black tea chai actually.
I was about to say I can taste the chai because there's always
Yeah.
that slight licorice edge to it.
What does this drink mean if someone's drinking this or someone orders this? What does it say about
Well,
them?
this is like, it was, I made it with the intent, this alongside, there's another drink in the book called the Cupid's Chokehold. A very similar kind of vibe
Sounds
where
kinda
like,
sexy.
yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. Well, it's kind of, they look pretty and they look like they should be kind of very easy to drink, but it is like a little bit, like with the Campari and tequila, it's like savory and bitter. It's just a little bit much. And it's kind of meant to symbolize like being lonely on Valentine's Day.
I like the juxtaposition. I love how descriptive cocktails are. I feel like if you're not within the cocktail world, or perhaps like you're just like a wine or a beer drinker, you really don't know the depths of like what a cocktail can represent. But that's why I think it's so fascinating, and actually we'll get into it a little bit later. Before we dive into Sipsy Doozy, which I'm super excited to speak about, have you ever heard of the 3-drink theory?
The 3-drink theory? No, I don't think so.
So it's basically this theory that is after the 3rd drink, that person is truly themselves. Like, when we meet
Oh,
people, we put a mask on, right? After that 3rd drink, there is no mask left.
Yeah, it tracks. It makes sense.
Just basically, do you kind of agree with that?
I do. I think. I mean, it depends how strong the drink is. Normally, it's like a 2-drink for me. 2-drink theory. I'll have like 1 martini, and I'm like, this is me.
Wait, are you a lightweight?
I am a lightweight. Crazy enough, with the amount that I drink, which is a lot because of my job, I after 1 martini, I'm tipsy. Proper. Yeah.
So will you be tipsy from this?
We'll see.
I will be, for sure.
Yeah, great.
Joe's a bit of a lightweight too.
I haven't eaten anything today, really. I've had like a bagel at like 6 a.m. So this should be,
Okay.
this will hit the
This is gonna be
bottom
fun.
of my stomach.
Should have brought snacks.
Yeah.
All right, I want to dive into Sipsy Doozy because I think it's like, we were just admiring the book in of itself. But first and foremost, what prompted you to create this?
Well, so I started doing videos on TikTok. I kind of had from my acting. So I've been acting since I was a kid. I'd done some TikToks first when it came out in like COVID era. Had something around like 200, 300,000 followers at that point, just from like stupid little videos, maybe some singing too. And then I moved to New York end of 2022, I think, or 2021. And I was going out to a premiere like a week later. It was the opening of Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway.
Oh,
It was
amazing.
incredible show. One of my favorite shows I've ever seen. But it was the opening, so I was wearing a suit and I just moved all my stuff into my apartment and I was going to make a drink anyway, so I just decided to post a video about it, and I did that very lazily, posted it, went into the show, woke up the next morning and it was over 1 million views.
Oh,
And
What
I
were you
just kind
doing
of-
in the video?
It was just, I was making, what drink did I make? I made a margarita negra, which is it's a Mr. Black cocktail, actually. It's like a coffee margarita. It's banging.
sounds right up your alley.
yeah,
first and
really?
foremost. He loves
Banging.
coffee, he loves margaritas.
It was very, very good. But so, yeah, I've been doing that since end of 2021. Turned into a way bigger thing than I ever intended, and I'm loving it. But then kind of ever since I started, there was always like the comments of, you should do a book. So I was always kind of writing one and designing one on my own. And by the end, I'd written one and designed one that I could have self-published. And then we sold that out to a publisher about a year ago, two years ago. And we sold it. And here it is, 2 years later.
That's
Wow.
so incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what is okay? So, what's your favorite cocktail ever?
So people ask me that, and I still haven't settled on it. I love this one and the Cupid's Chokehold are two of my faves. So it's sorted by.
In the shower.
There she is.
That's a
There
great
you go.
photo.
Yeah, it was almost the cover, that one.
I love that.
They said it was too sexy.
Oh,
No.
keeping the sexiness away from people. Why?
But I mean, there's a bunch of coffee cocktails in there that I love. There's a drink in there called the Hamilton Special, which is just essentially all the stuff that I like in a cocktail to see if it worked, and it did. So I really like that one. I'm more of a stirred, like strong Negroni martini old fashioned guy. So all of those that are in there are really
That's my
nice.
current drink, the old fashioned.
Yeah, it's so classic, so classic.
But it's a winter drink, so now winter's ending,
Well,
and
yeah,
I
what are you
don't
gonna do
know. I don't know
Okay.
what my summer drink is going to be.
Wait,
just
what
say
you
that,
telling me the other day that what's the front cover one called?
That's the bin chicken, which is
Please
to
explain.
Australians watching, they'll know. But so the bin chicken is what's an ibis is a bird in Australia. I think they're here as well, but they're known, especially in like the sunny coast and Brisbane, for they're just like these disgusting things that eat out of bins, and they look like storks, but like disgusting, evil demon spawn storks.
I'm even just seeing so many more like Jaffa Cake.
Yeah, there's a lot of Australian.
I love improved
titles in
fluff.
there. Yeah,
I don't know
improved
why.
fluff.
That just brings me like so much joy listening to it. All right, so if someone was reading this, I know like you don't. It's kind of like picking children, right? Like for you to go through and pick one of your favorites. But
Truly.
if you were to say to somebody like, there is one cocktail in here that they must try.
They have to try. God.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, well, the thing is, because it's so personal, and that's such a cop-out answer, but it is like whatever you usually like to drink, I should be able to pick one in there that fits it. Like the one that when my friends have been like flicking through it, the one that hits them the most is the affogato martini,
Ooh,
which is just
Ooh.
essentially an espresso martini with a scoop of ice cream. It's
peanut
With a
butter
scoop of ice
grasshopper.
cream.
peanut butter
Whoa.
grasshopper is very good.
Stop it.
We have a bunch of the French bogan.
The French bogan.
Yeah, it's a riff on the Hawaiian redneck.
I don't even, that's a cocktail.
There's a bunch of yeah.
Oh my god,
There's
there's
the
Cupid's
Cupid's
Chokehold.
And it's I couldn't tell you the best drink in there because there is no best drink in there. And
All right.
that's a nice tagline.
What's the weirdest drink in there?
There's one called the I think it's the Postre Unico, which is unique dessert in Spanish, I think. I butchered that, but it's super weird and just like fruity and coffee and chocolate, and that's really weird. I probably wouldn't. That's one there are ones in there that I wouldn't recommend to people from the first drink. Like I was trying to figure out what I was going to make for us today,
I love
and
this.
I just didn't want to go too weird because I know that would be my first your first impression of me. And there's usually a sugar rim on this too, which is just enhances a little bit. But yeah, I couldn't tell you like the main drink.
The main drink.
So
Oh,
I
I
have
think
a
that's a good
question.
thing.
If you meet somebody
Yeah.
that is a potential partner, but they don't drink, how do you feel about that?
Happened before. I've never been in a relationship with someone that doesn't drink, but I think there are people that drink less, and I mean my friend group, we're all drinkers, and it's how we socialize. It's how we kind of, for better or for worse, that's how we get together. And I think I just did a show in Hawaii for 3 weeks, and there was 2 or 3 cast members that were sober, and it does it forces you to think outside the box, which I love. Like I think you can't just go out to bars. Like you have to figure out stuff to do. So I'm sure if I was in a relationship with someone that didn't drink, it would just make me have to think more, which is nice, rather than just go out to a bar and have that be a date. But I love, my favorite thing to do on dates is activities at bars, like a ping pong or like a bowling.
Australians
that
are
kind
all
of
the same.
Must be an Australian thing, truly, because I always
Yeah.
said the same thing. Like, I mean, I love a drink, love a good drink, and I think it comes back to your culture and the way in which you grow
Yeah.
up, right? Like, I remember growing up and like my parents would always have a glass of wine with dinner.
Yeah.
It was all just instilled. When they get off from work, they go down to the pub and have a beer. Like, it's just such a social thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not a massive fan of just sitting and drinking.
Sure.
Like, I want something to do. I want
Hannah's
like an
big thing
activity.
is Dave and Buster's.
Fucking love Dave and Buster's.
And for me,
Well,
it's too extreme.
which is
Too
time zone.
extreme.
I fucking love
Time
Dave and
zone.
Buster's.
It's too
Well,
extreme.
what's
It
up?
is time zone, yeah. It's time zone
Because
with drinks.
after 30 minutes, I'm sweating because I'm playing like basketball
Yeah,
games
sure.
and I'm like getting competitive and I'm drinking and I'm sweating. And then after an hour and a half, I'm like, Fuck, I'm
Drinking
tired.
from
I'm
a water bottle with
hungover.
2 hands like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's your own fault for getting so competitive and just like wanting to. You're literally
Drinking
trying to beat all the
activities
kids.
to me are playing like cornhole or can gym on the
I
beach.
love cornjole. I love cornhole. I'm half
Those
drinking.
So he's
those
already drunk.
those are good.
But it's just like even like the American equivalents, like just sitting at a bar and doing something, because then I still think it like leads into the social aspect of
Yeah.
it, right? Like then there's this camaraderie.
Well, you don't have to think about stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Like more like it removes any awkwardness from the date. And I think my type is usually someone who's more athletic anyway. So I think
really?
Like even just like someone who's good at pool or enjoys playing pool, enjoys bowling or table tennis or whatever. Like I'm always going to be more attracted to someone like that than someone who isn't keen to do that.
Okay, speaking of, like, we all have these, you know, some of everybody has like arbitrary kind of checklists for what they want in a partner, but then there are like really kind of things that you truly want in a partner, whether that's like morals and values or what have you. Like, is there this like internal checklist that you have of the type of person that you want to be with, end up with?
I mean, definitely, yeah. I think it changes per person. Crazy enough, like there's always the dream man. Especially physically because of the Instagram culture. Like it's so easy just to scroll past a guy that you think is attractive. And
What's the dream man? Because we had this
just
conversation last night.
I like tall, dark, and handsome. That's kind of the main thing.
Technique of
Give us celebrity lookalike.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, my main crush is like a Noah Beck.
Who?
You know Noah Beck, old
Noah
TikTok guy.
He's a good looking.
How would I even describe him? He's like a model now. Extremely good looking guy.
I'll pull him up for you.
I like Ben Shelton. How old is he? Is that okay? Ben Shelton, the tennis
Is that
player.
legal?
I hope that's okay.
Wait, let's see.
But I think from those two people could guess it. It's just tall doesn't really matter to me because I'm 5'11". I don't think I've ever dated anyone taller than 6 foot.
Wait, Ben Shelton's cute.
Yeah, man, tennis player.
He's got
Yeah, I know
like
Ben
the
Shelton.
the curly cute. Who is he? Noah Beck.
Noah Beck. It's a very similar look.
So you like the curly hair?
Yeah, and again, it's the athletic thing. Like both of them are ripped. I've never actually been in a relationship with someone who's like jacked.
Okay.
You
You know who's a good looking tennis player? The Italian guy. What's his name?
Sinner. Yeah, Yannick
no,
Sinner.
not Sinner.
No? Yannick Sinner is hot.
Look, I'm just saying.
Can you
I
look
like
up?
Holger Rune. He's a good tennis player.
Hold on,
he's
this guy.
he's very attractive.
But I think Joe relates to that in a lot of ways. He was like any woman. If I'm wearing gym gear, he's like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I'm totally. All my friends, my friend Blue, who I've been mates with for a very long time now, is he came over, just like we're all hanging out at my
Blue,
place.
you said?
Blue, yeah. It's his last name. But he came over to my place with everyone was there, and he came over after the gym, and I was like, Blue, my goodness,
My god,
I've never
mate.
felt this way about you.
Never felt more attracted to you in my
With like
life.
a ball cap and like
Oof.
the athletic shorts.
Just like a little
Leave
bit
me
sweaty.
alone. Ugh, come on.
Just like a little bit
So
sweaty.
this guy-
Glistening
You know
just
what
a
it
little
reminds
bit.
me of? Like I just always used to have a thing for tradies.
Okay, no, yeah, I
You see?
see it.
Mateo.
So I'm not a huge fan of beards. It's
He's too pretty.
mm.
Like his facial features.
He,
are
his
he
just-
works for Hugo. He does the Hugo
for the
Boss.
people. Matteo Berrettini.
Matteo Berrettini. Shout out to Matteo Berrettini.
Yeah, if he's watching.
well,
Yeah, imagine.
The,
He's like, yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, it's a large box that I'm not very selective, but I choose kind of not to date much for some reason. It's like there are people in my life now that like are friends of friends or whatever that I'm just kind of almost certain that something will happen with them one day kind of thing, but I'm not too pressed.
do you think
about
it's because you're so focused on kind of like, you know, obviously the book and like
work
the
does take a lot of
tour?
time. Yeah, I mean that's and I hate to say that because there's like a lot of before I was super busy with the book and with the TikTok stuff, and you know when you're just an actor, you just do tapes and
Yeah.
you hardly ever work and you lazy go. But I spent a lot of my time back then doing stuff that was more social, and now I have less time for that. I think I took it for granted back in the day.
Well, also I think the fact that you've kind of like diverted away from apps as well, like you really, and it that in of itself is super indicative and almost like this shining defining factor of how heavily people rely on dating apps nowadays to be able to meet people.
Yeah.
Whilst we do have the option to be able to go out socially, it's just not as common. And so the fact that you've moved away from it and you're just kind of like, oh, dating's not really like, is it a priority for you at the moment?
Not a huge priority, no.
No.
I mean, this I said to my friend the other day that I think for some reason this tour that we're about to go on for the book, there's I guess a lot of random cities in hotels, and like that feels like a moment where I'm, there's a chance that some more casual stuff will happen because I've never been that kind of guy.
Why not?
I've only ever been on one one night stand.
Only
ever been
one?
on one my entire life.
Good experience or bad experience?
Awful experience, which
Awful.
is why it's only been one. So I've never done it in the past, and then I moved to New York just before I met my longest boyfriend. I was on like a lot of kind of relationship-y apps, and I was going on a lot of dates that were kind of possible relationships. I was just like, probably had a few drinks. I was like, let's just see if there's anyone out there that would want to come over for the night. Found this one guy. So I was living in Jersey City at the time. He was in Williamsburg. Came all the way from Dubburg to Jersey City for like an hour. Came over, and we know like the intention was to just have a one night stand. So we both knew when he walked in the door. Even that, like bringing someone over on the first date was a little bit sketchy for me. Came over, we sat. I didn't know how to do the one night stand thing, so we didn't like just start kind of making out immediately. We sat on like opposite ends of my couch and just kind of like very quickly but slowly started scooching towards each other. Anyway, it ended up doing the deed, and then I went to the bathroom, got changed, came out. I was wearing hoodie and jeans. Came out, was just kind of like standing in the living room, expecting just to go, okay, that was it.
See you later.
See you later. He comes out of the bathroom fully naked. Walks past me, goes and lays back down in my bed. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. So I go and lay with him fully clothed. He's fully naked. For like another half hour while he like waxes lyrical about how much he's like falling in love with me and stuff. I was just I was like, yeah, I guess so.
That's so hard with a one night stand though, isn't it?
It was like fully set up. It was like previously we'd said that it was a one night stand.
But he's like, oh
and
my God.
It just like fell for me.
He must be fucking good.
Yeah. You don't know.
He fell for you
You
that
don't
hard.
even know, babe. But yeah, eventually, like I managed to get him out, and like he was hanging at my like door, going like, so like I'll call me, like text me. I had to ghost the guy.
Did he stay the note? Did he stay the night?
No.
Oh wow.
I had to get him out of there. I was like, I'd fully, if I commit to something like that, it has to be that's what's happening. Like.
You can't switch halfway through.
I guess unless I felt the same way, but
you ghosted. Yeah. You don't seem like the ghosting type.
No, I'm not at all because I'm such a monogamous guy that like every.
Hey, but this fella seemed like he was coming on way too strong.
It was a lot, to be fair. It felt like a little bit of I was just being cornered into like a back alley, and just like I needed to get out of there.
See, that's why sometimes the away court advantage, not home court advantage.
That you can just leave.
I loved the away.
I agree.
Because you could go when you want to go.
Well, look, he lived in Williamsburg and I wasn't about to do that. So.
Yeah, it's true.
When it comes to travel, that's always thing, but it is one of the hardest things, even for women. Like when you just wanted to have a one night stand, you try to get somebody out of your apartment. Because you don't want to hurt their feelings either, and you want there to be some kind of semblance of
you
like.
kicked me out before.
I know.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she'd say, "Listen, I'm spending the night by myself." And
Yeah, great. Well, that's up front.
Well, but we were also kind of in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Kind of,
like,
getting there.
Yeah, we were getting into a relationship versus like it just being a pure one night stand. But it's such a tricky arena when you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
how do you? All right. So what do you? I always loved. So what do you do for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
Or the rest of the day. If they do spend the night, I've had a few times where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get coffee.
Tell
What
him
do
that
you?
story that wasn't there one chick who just stayed at your apartment forever?
So I was okay with her staying the night. It was totally fine. Okay. But in the morning, I think it was a Sunday morning, and I really was excited to just do my thing.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go get coffee. You want to come down and get a cab? Like, I'll call you an Uber or whatever. And she's like, no, I'll just wait for you up here. And I was like, okay, do you want a coffee? So I went, I got the coffee, came up, and she was just like watching TV on the couch.
Watching your TV?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, listen, I have to go to
someone else's TV.
And I was like, I have to go to the gym, so like, you want me to call you an Uber? And she's like, no, I'll just wait for you to get back. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, I'm just going to spend the day here. And I was like, and she did. And I was just like,
you couldn't kick her out.
I couldn't kick her.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point where you feel like you're being rude, but at that point, she's being rude. She's taking up your space.
There's gonna be fucking social awareness at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People just realizing and recognizing, but it's also like both of you just must have been really good at what you did.
Definitely
for them to want
was
to
not.
stay around.
That was not the case.
It's
with
a
me.
compliment to you, man.
I think she was like, this is nice. I'm in New York City.
This is a nice
It's a nice apartment.
I'll stay here for the day.
Maybe she doesn't have an apartment. Maybe
She
she's
probably
like she's
was
going
on-
from place to place.
Well, I know
She was
that
probably setting up her next date and was like, I live in New York City. And then meet me at this apartment and walked down and was like, yeah, this is my spot.
one to the next. Damn. I know that you were, before we get into the games, which are always my favorite part of it, I know that you said, because you've lived in LA and New York, correct? But I know that you've been in monogamous relationships and I know that you haven't really dated here, but what would you say is the hardest city to date?
LA is harder to date in for sure.
Why?
The space, the sheer distance between places. It's distance in a way that like you could be in Williamsburg and Jersey City and be like an hour away from each other. But for some reason, because you're on the train, it doesn't really feel like it's taking as long, and it's just New York just feels quicker. Whereas you could sit in traffic for an hour to go on a dinner date with someone in LA that you won't enjoy. It just feels like it's a time waster. I also like the people in LA less, but that's a whole different
I think it's a general
bag of
consensus,
fish.
truth be
But
told.
yeah.
A different bag of fish. I haven't heard that.
What about
before.
foreigners versus Americans?
I've never really dated outside of the States. I moved here when I was 18.
But you dated American people specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I so going through my dating history.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's
That's
go.
number one.
And I'll rank them. So my first boyfriend was literally 2 months into the move into LA. I was 18, moved to LA with way too much money. Had like a 2-bedroom in Mid-Wilshire
Damn.
that I just like I could afford. I just like didn't know how to really spend money. Met this guy who was visiting his sister in LA. He lived in Utah. So I spent the next year almost every weekend flying to Utah and
Did you
back.
back a Mormon?
Oh,
He was Greek Catholic,
Oh.
but he had a lot of Mormon friends, and that was tricky. He didn't come out. I mean, it was a whole different. He didn't come out to his family until like 6 months into our relationship, and I was just a friend for a while. It was
Oh, that must have been so difficult.
tricky, yeah, because I was like staying at his place and stuff. It was tricky. But that was a year, and then into COVID, I did like a month of quarantine with him and his brother and his sister-in-law. With my dog, we drove out to Utah, like a 10-hour drive, and stayed there for a month. COVID wasn't dying down, so I went back to my place, and then 2 weeks later, I was driving back out to. I think I got halfway through. I was like, I just can't.
halfway through the drive?
Yeah, during that, I started on the drive back. I called him. I was like, I just can't really do this. And it was the day before my birthday, so I broke up the night before my birthday, and then the next day I was like COVID, so no one was around. So I was just kind of like in my apartment. So that was my first relationship. Kind of had two like a couple months long relationships after that. The rest of the year. End of the start of 2021, I moved back to Australia because I ran out of money.
As one does.
As one does. So I dated the guy I dated just before that. That wasn't hugely serious or long. He loved my dog. So I was going to move to Australia for like however many months. And then once I had enough money, I was going to come back to LA. So I was like, can you just take care of my dog? So he took her. And then my next job was in Pennsylvania 3 months later. Did that job. Everyone that I knew in that job lived here in New York. And I was like, I'll just kind of go to New York for like a year. Try it. So I told him, I was like, would you be fine keeping it for another year? He said, yeah, it's fine, whatever. We love each other. And then I met Jackson, who I was with for 2 years in Hoboken. I just never went back to LA. So he's still got her. It's her 10th birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, Nala.
Nala.
Oh, that's a
little-
beautiful name.
little girl. She's
Nala.
it's a 10th birthday today. Dude, it's mental. But he's had her now for since COVID, 4 years.
So yeah, basically
Yeah.
half her life.
Yeah, essentially. And I rescued her when she was 4. So yeah, she was. It's crazy, like to kind of expect to come back to her and then to never do. But he loves her, and he's pretty well off, so she's pretty bougie.
Especially, I'm sure she's
She's
so well taken
very
care
well
of.
taken care of.
And also sometimes just things like that happen in life where it's like you gave her, a couple of beautiful years, and
Yeah.
then she has had these other couple of beautiful years, and like, is she a little dog or a big dog?
Tiny dog.
Yes, she's gonna live forever too.
Yeah.
So I keep telling her about Delhi. I'm like, she's gonna live till she's
Yeah, if
17.
you have to go back to Australia, I'll keep Delhi, so it'll be a similar
Where am I
situation.
going? We're married, bro. What are you talking about?
You're coming where I'm coming.
Yeah,
If you
that's
ever have
exactly
to
right.
go.
You're such a dick.
If I ever need a break, I'll
fine.
call the government and be like,
Dude.
hey, I know an
Yeah,
illegal
yeah.
immigrant.
I'll
Give me,
call the
give
government.
me
Take
$10,000
over.
Nah,
and
baby.
take
Nah,
care of
baby.
it.
I
Ice,
got
dude.
that
I'm
green
on the
card. I got the
Yeah.
literal fucking green card. You can't kick me out now.
He'll rip it up.
All right, let's play some games.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I came up with a game called Sipsy Doozy or straight up snoozy.
Awesome, dude. Come
And
on.
so I'm going to give you a dating scenario, and you have to decide if it's Sipsy Doozy, aka hot, fun, chaotic, but
Okay.
worth it, or straight up snoozy, boring, bad vibes, time to ghost.
Awesome, great.
Also, but we don't condone ghosting, but sometimes,
No, of course.
like
no.
the situation
No, we
before
don't.
that you were just explaining, it kind of does. A guy who orders milk at the bar.
Is a baby girl reference? God, straight up milk. It's kind of a power move.
TJ would do that.
The confidence that you have with it, I suppose,
Yeah.
if you do it with confidence.
Well, I mean, people who like order White Russians, you're essentially just ordering like a cup of milk. It's an excuse to drink milk at the bar. I'm gonna go Sipsy Doozy. I think that's cool.
Nice.
It's unexpected. I didn't expect it, but I think it's a
Power
Sipsy
move.
Doozy.
I love it.
I love it. A date who insists you both order the same drink for the aesthetic. For like
Oh,
Instagram.
Fuck off. Straight up snoozy. That's ridiculous for just to post a photo of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's more aesthetic to have like two cute little different drinks.
I mean,
Fuck off.
you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
A date who orders 4 espresso martinis in a row and starts trauma dumping, but in a funny way.
I mean, espresso martinis are big enough now. I mean, I would order 4. Trauma dumping in a funny way. If it's, I guess, yeah, the clarification that it's in a funny way, it's a Sipsy Doozy.
A match who sends 8 voice notes before the first date.
8 voice notes. Oh, goodness. That's a grey area. Because they could be, because I like a voice note. You know, when you're busy enough, they're handy. I send so many voice notes. To a person that you haven't met before,
Yeah, it's gray area because
It is a grey area.
Voice note could be good so you can get a sense of their energy before you
yeah,
haven't
and
met
their
them.
voice, it's nice to hear their voice, what they sound like. I remember like first guy I dated in LA had a way deeper voice than I
Or
expected.
anticipated?
And that kind of did throw me off a little bit.
More
so
attractive,
it'd be nice to maybe,
deeper voice.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's a part
I
of my
get
type.
intimidated by voice notes. When people send me a
Yeah.
voice note, I'm like, oh.
I mean, it depends the length of them, doesn't it? Like we have I do fantasy football, and one of the guys in there only sends voice notes, and they're like 4 minutes long.
How am I supposed to remember all of that information?
It's like it's ridiculous because I can't respond in real time, so I end up texting this like essay because I'm responding in real time while I'm listening to his voice memo. I'm gonna go snoozy.
All right, I like that. A date who doesn't tip the bartender and justifies it with they make a lot of tips anyway.
Oh my God. That's snoozy too. I mean, as Australians, we know the tipping culture. I mean, even Americans now, the tipping culture is
Fucking
out of
wild.
hand. And you guys understand that too. You're starting to understand how like the flip the screen thing at the cafe is ridiculous. But I mean, you have to tip. It's just like I think it's more of a power move if you go. They weren't a very good server, so I'm gonna tip. I mean, you have to tip like 10%.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, at least you think about it. That's nice.
Yeah.
But you have to tip.
Do you think that they'll start making us tip the automatic machines?
No, can I
What?
hope not. Like
You know,
the
you do self checkout.
and you tip those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a-
No, because in
Yeah,
all
it's a chance,
seriousness,
just to fund
now if
those
you
machines.
order coffee and you go and you get a sandwich with the coffee and then you get another coffee and it's $20, the tip is 25%, 30%, 35%. So you're tipping
Yeah, right.
$5
Yeah.
on
I'll always on a
your
coffee.
order.
I'll do custom. And I'll do $1 usually.
Me
If it's-
too.
If it's just a cappuccino, I'll
Yes,
do $1.
and the machine should be custom or set to $1, $2,
Sometimes
$3.
it is, yeah, which I like. I respect that, but I mean that's just at the same time fucking the economy. So I know they can't afford. Like service workers are like they can't afford shit.
That's the thing,
But-
that's what's hard about it because you as a consumer, you know that like you're paying this person
Yes, but a
directly. that
bartender
should be-
and a waiter vastly different than somebody who's just doing the cashier.
That's true. No, absolutely. I agree. If they
Doing
spend
the
an
cashier,
hour and
you're
a
not
half
really doing
serving
anything.
you and you don't tip them, that's fucked.
Do you
Yes.
know that they're doing that at doctor's offices now?
You tip the
Tipping?
doctor's office? Get the fuck out of here.
No, they're literally asking for a tip at the doctor's office.
For the
What?
receptionist or for the doctor?
Who knows, mate?
Can't be for the doctor.
It could be.
Doctor's
Who knows?
making enough.
They take 10%.
For the receptionist, that makes sense. I think but that's only if they like.
But like, why? But why?
I don't know, man.
Why on earth would I be tipping
No,
a fucking
I don't know.
receptionist? Like, no offense, but in any way, shape, or form, like, what would be the point to lie? Like, you relax.
No, I think yeah.
Stop it.
If the receptionist has done an especially good job, it shouldn't be an option to tip on a screen or whatever. But like if someone has done an exceptionally good job, kind of human conscience wise, there should be an offer up of maybe cash.
I
Which is like a little
disagree, but
extra
I want
thing.
to know what the people
Okay.
out there think of that because I think
Nick's
that is a
very
hot
kind.
topic. That is a
Yeah,
very
look,
kind-
I'm saving my image a little bit because I think we are known for not tipping.
Nick's going to go to the
But people-
doctor and they're going to make a custom tip thing just for him.
Just
It's
for
like,
Nick.
hey, Nick.
You said that you might do this.
You
so.
said you might tip us.
All right, last one for this.
Yes.
A date who flirts with the bartender but also gets you free drinks all night.
That's a Sipsy Doozy. I do that. Absolutely. Especially
do
in
that?
on like
Used to.
gay dates and stuff. If there's a hot guy bartender, both of us are flirting with this guy to get
That's acceptable.
to get free drinks. I mean, it's not, there's flirting, but then there's also me going, "Hey, I'm in the industry.
What's up, babe? I
Yeah,
know.
you get another shot, mate.
I know a little something. That
Can you start doing that? I approve.
I'm in the industry.
No, just no.
Or flirting.
Flirting with the
Flirting,
bartenders.
yeah, get us some free
I used
drinks.
to
Do
do
it.
that all the time, and then now we're married. It's kind of different. You know
No,
what
you
I mean?
could do it. I think,
Yeah.
especially if some bartenders are keen for a third. So who knows?
Yeah, that's true too.
If you guys are together.
I do like use my charm to get us into restaurants though a lot of the time.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I mean that's
A lot of the
I
time.
think base level flirting is the most constant thing in most people's lives, even if they don't realize it. Everyone's just flirting with everyone else.
Base level flirting. I like.
Yeah,
I
because
like
it's just
that.
the smallest things. It's like if you're charming someone, you're flirting essentially. Doesn't mean you want to get in their pants, but you might want something.
Yeah. I think this is a certain level of charm that comes along, like you said, and also different cultures. Like Australians by nature, banter, and we're quite charming. I'd like to say, just patting ourselves on the
No,
back.
I agree.
All right, last game I'm going to play is what does a cocktail say about you? So I'm going to
Love
give
it.
you different cocktail orders, and you're going to tell me
Okay.
what that says about that person.
Roger.
Espresso martini.
Rapid fire is young. It depends if they order it with vodka and tequila. Tequila's cool, vodka's kind of lame.
Wow.
Keep going. Come on.
Interesting. Negroni.
Refined, really cool because I think anyone who orders like a Campari, stirred Campari drink, no matter what it is like that's a refined drinker. If they order a Negroni Spagliato with prosecco in it, I mean, if they ordered that like 2 years ago when it first came out, then that's lame.
So is
Wow.
is a Negroni more, what's the word, elevated than an old fashioned?
I would say Campari is a more bracing flavor.
What's
than
Campari?
whiskey. That was in that bitter red liqueur.
That's an alcohol?
Yeah, so that's what's in that
Okay.
Lonely Valentine. It's
don't know.
it's a liqueur, but it's super like gentian rooty, like super bitter. So that's why I like a Negroni is it's super bracing and harsh, and you have to like it to order it. I think people can order old fashions even if they don't love them, and they'll still finish them, kind of thing.
Okay.
Negronis, you have to like them.
I love that. Tequila shot and lime.
I think it's cooler to order a whiskey shot just as like a bartender insider.
I didn't say
kind of
whiskey.
thing.
I said
I
tequila.
know that's what I'm saying. I think if you order like a JMO shot,
Ooh.
that's my shot to go with. Tequila shots are just they're so like party girl. I think that's like if you're at a party and someone offers you tequila, that's cool. If they order tequila shots out and you're with a big group, that's cool. If they order them on like a date, weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying on a date. Could you imagine? But that's
I'm getting so much nostalgia.
Really?
I haven't had a shot in so long, and thinking about me taking a tequila shot, all the memories
Yeah,
of
man.
my 20s.
I can't do tequila shots. That's the one that I really, really struggle with.
Wait, how about a fireball shot?
Oh, no.
I mean, I'll do
That's-
like my ex Jack and I would go skiing a bunch, and he would bring these the tiny little
Yeah.
shooters of fireball. Oh my god, that's what it reminds me of. So I couldn't do it at a bar. Also, fireball's disgusting.
Could you just imagine somebody order that on a date though? Fireball shots.
Where were we when we were
Oh,
passing
right,
Fireball
yeah.
around?
Ray's wedding.
Oh, that was so bad.
A wedding's a good place. for a
Yeah,
fireball.
two more. Long Island iced tea.
Oh, get out of my face.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Because I have a second book proposal out in the world now that's like more of like an advice drink, how to drink thing. And there's this thing that I've talked about for a long time. It's called the Long Island iced tea effect, where young people especially, but any drinkers, any inexperienced drinkers, think that a drink is only good when it has a lot of alcohol in it and you can't taste the alcohol. I think that's a crazy suggestion. I think it's really immature to think that you just drink to get drunk. I try to advertise the whole drinking for flavor and stuff like that idea, even though I don't follow that sometimes. So I think the Long Island iced tea is the same, if not less, alcohol by volume than like a vodka tonic, whiskey sour.
Really?
It's because it's just you have 6 different liquors in there, but it's not a bunch of liquor. It's just different liquors.
Yeah, and we all know as seasoned drinkers, you're not supposed to mix liquors. And if you do continuously mix liquors, then you're going to be fucked.
If somebody ordered a Long Island iced tea, if I was ever in an alternative universe on a date,
Yeah.
I'd walk out.
I think
I
that
would
is a
walk out.
crazy order. I
For a
truly
first
think.
date, that's wild.
What's
Just,
the-
yeah.
What's the equivalent of Sipsy Doozy?
I've got a Hamilton Island iced tea. Remember Hamilton Island?
Stop it.
Yeah, my
I love all the
my
Australian
family loved
references
going
in here.
to Hamilton Island as like a proper thing. But the Hamilton Island iced tea actually goes against. So a lot of people try and like reinvent the Long Island iced tea. This is a long answer, but they try and reinvent it. It's a classic thing, and like proper mixology is trying to reinvent the Long Island iced tea. and they try to take away a lot of the liquor. And I think that doesn't make it a Long Island iced tea anymore, because essentially Long Island iced tea is gin, vodka, whiskey, rum.
So really all of those alcohol?
And I think brandy or tequila. All of those in lime and Coke. That's all it is. But it's not a bunch of it. It's just all different things to make up the amount that would usually be just whiskey. So anyway, people would take those away to try to reinvent it, but I've added 2 more liquors to make it more like I saw a recipe that's where you batch all the liquors ahead of time and you store them and they kind of marinate together and they make it like a whole different, like a conglomerate liquor. And you just put that with lime and Jarritos Mexican cola.
If that's not the most Australian thing I've ever fucking heard, is being like,
Just
you know
add
what?
more.
You know what? I'm going to add more.
What do you think about a person who drinks vodka Red Bulls?
I can respect vodka Red Bulls.
You can respect them.
Honestly, I really kind of enjoy them.
I was
love
addicted
a
to
Red Bull.
those.
I'm such a Red Bull fan. Like it's aside from the fact that they might be sponsoring one of the events that we're doing for the book, but I genuinely love if I'm at like a dive bar, it's whiskey ginger or vodka Red Bull.
You know what I froth to make a full circle moment here? Jager bombs.
I love a
Really?
Jager bomb.
I used to do Jager
So
bombs
there
all
are
the time.
places for drinks like that. That's not. I think it's a very elitist opinion to say that you shouldn't drink like a vodka Red Bull or Long Island iced teas. Like there are places for those, like Zombies or whatever. But yeah, like going out on a date to like say like you're at a restaurant and their go-to order is a Long Island iced tea. Ridiculous.
I want people to comment below and tell us what the wildest drink order that they've ever had on a
I
first
didn't
date.
sleep for weeks on end because I drank vodka Red Bull so much.
Yeah, really?
And I didn't know why, because I was young. I was 21.
sure.
And every morning I'd wake up and I'd be like, I didn't sleep at all.
Buzzed. Yeah.
And like, dude, you had like 7 vodka Red Bulls
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
This is wild.
I mean, people have espresso martinis. It's the exact same idea.
Oh my God. Nick, thank you so much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by today. I am buying a copy of this book because I think I'm not a cocktail maker myself. I'm typically like, I used to drink straight vodka.
Okay.
On ice with a little bit of lemon.
Wow.
And then I moved to wine. But even just like tasting, I didn't taste that one, but I tasted this one. Even something like that, I can most definitely get down with that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely buying a thing. Everybody else should.
Thank you. It's super like approachable for like beginner bartenders at home. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing scientific. It's all ingredients that you're going to be able to find at your local liquor store, or syrups that you can make very easily at home. It's super approachable and yummy.
Yummy. That's the word we needed. When will it be out?
May 6th of this year. So I'm also going on a tour. So my socials and all that, keep on board. I'm going across the US, possibly with some support by First Rounds on me. So
We're going to link all of Nick's socials below, and obviously the link to be able to get the book. My darling, would you like to do that?
Yes, thank you guys for listening. Check out one of our past episodes. Subscribe. It really helps us. We love you. Happy dating, and we'll see you next time.